So this question is applying radians to a trig equation. So the first thing to realize is that it's a quadratic equation, but we've got a mixture of sine and cos here. So the first thing I need to do is get it into a form that we can actually solve it as a quadratic. So I'm going to use the Pythagorean trig identity, sine squared plus cos squared equals 1, to replace sine squared with 1 minus cos squared theta. So this equation then becomes 4 times 1 minus cos squared theta minus cos theta equals 1. So when I rearrange that, I get this. And then solving that as if it was a quadratic, which it is, it's a quadratic in cos theta rather than a quadratic in, let's say, x or whatever. I get two values for cos theta, 3/4 here and -1 here. So at this stage, I'm going to draw myself a little sketch of the graph of cos theta, because the domain that we've got to solve this equation over is going from -2 pi to 2 pi. So it's a rather extended domain as to what we're used to perhaps. So if I draw the graph of cos theta from -2 pi to 2 pi, it looks like this. 2 pi, remember, is about 6.28, so just a bit more than 6 here, and -2 pi, just a bit less than -6. And here are the two lines. This is y equals 3/4, and this is y equals -1. So we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 solutions we're looking for. So let's start with the cos theta equals 3/4, and then we can put that straight into our calculator. Theta equals arc cos 3/4, which is 0.7227 radians. So that's this number here. And then to find the next one here, I'm just doing 2 pi minus the first answer, the principal answer. So 2 pi minus 0.7227 is 5.560 radians. Then I can take this number, the 0.7227, and find that answer there by subtracting 2 pi. And I can find, you take that number and find this answer by subtracting 2 pi. So I get two answers for theta. Another way of doing it for cos, because cos is symmetrical about that line there, the line there, x equals 0 or theta equals 0, you always get the plus and minus here, plus minus. So that's another perhaps slightly quicker way of finding all of the 4 solutions. Now moving on to the cos theta equals -1, we should know that the answer to that, the first answer, is pi, and then the second answer here is -pi. So summarizing all of that, here are the 6 answers all together, with all of the answers in radians to 2 decimal places where appropriate. In this case, in these 2 cases, it wasn't appropriate to express the answers in radians, in decimal. So they're all in radians, and the last 4 are to 2 decimal places. Okay.